are about to have a whole lot of fun today is what I'm saying. All right, so first things first, let me tell you what we're going to be talking about today. It is, does HBR really work? And this is the Jordan Rios edition. All right, this is going to be a whole lot of fun. Basically what I am doing is I'm bringing my own students in, and then we're talking about what their lives were like, what they're like now, and then also what they're working on right now and what they're excited about for the future. So this is your chance to be able to align with somebody and look at them and say, hey, that's kind of me. Hey, this is accessible for me. Hey, this is something I can do as well, because I'm telling you right now, there's not any one special kind of person that can do this. All that somebody needs is the desire to do this, and then the rest is handled. So we are going to be getting into that in just a second. I just want to get through some housekeeping items really quick. First things first is, if you are watching this on the YouTubes, do make sure that you click on the subscribe button and also the bell so you get notified when new videos come on. Not only because you'll know when the new videos come on, but because you'll be able to win some things. So one person every single week wins something simply by subscribing to the YouTube channel, commenting on the YouTube videos, and then sharing the YouTube videos and tagging either me or my business in it. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to tell you something else that's fun that happens along with that is you gain a whole lot more friends, because people want to see what's working. And whenever you share me with people, you're sharing what's working with people. Okay, so you also get to be the hero of their story. Isn't that awesome? So let me get that off of here. Last couple of things. If you do not know about it yet, we are doing a Fix Your Course Challenge at the end of the month. It is in my group, okay? So the link to the group is in the description of this video. It is July 26th through 30th, and the entire idea behind this is if you feel like you have any leaky spaces in your course, whether it's your sales page, whether it's the content, whether it's how you're promoting your program, right? No matter what it is, if you feel like something is off or it's just not crushing it the way that you want it to be, make sure you come to that challenge. It's completely free. It is my tithe back to you guys. So I give of my energy back to you guys for free because it's my tithing back into the community. That's the way that I see things, okay? Let me get rid of that. Last housekeeping item, and then we move into the gold, okay? If you are not signed up yet for the mastermind, do make sure that you do that. If you miss that, you will be kicking yourself, I promise you. There are going to be people on that mastermind, like celebrities that are going to be on that mastermind that you're not going to be there if you don't get into it, okay? Also, the whole purpose behind the mastermind is that you move yourself along, all right? So what I understand is that every 90 days people hit a slump. So what am I doing? Because I know that I'm creating action items at the end of every 90 days. So I have a mastermind every 90 days to pick you back up again, because I'm not going to let you just hit a slump and lie there. Okay. But you do have to come to it. That's on you. I'll create it. You got to come to it. MarthasMastermind.com. Make sure that you sign up for it. All right. Now let's talk. I'm bringing on Jordan. Hey, lady. How are you? Oh, man. I'm good.
Great.
That's awesome.
I'm awesome.
So,
yeah.
Let us know. Well, no, let's back up. Some of you guys love Jordan already. Go ahead and show her some love in the comments. So, let's talk about Jordan at the beginning of this, and I'm going to say the Marthaverse journey because you know what I'm talking about. Like my students call all of my stuff the Marthaverse because there's a lot of stuff, and rather than saying this or that or this or that, they just call it the Marthaverse. So before you got into that, what was going on in your world? What was your beliefs, or what were your beliefs about yourself and about your own success? Like, where did you sit as you came into this?
Okay, so I would love to talk about that. So Martha, let me tell you, when I, just starting with what other people could see in my life, I was struggling. I was, I tell this story all the time. This is my story. I was in survival mode. I had been in a perpetual state of survival mode for like 8 years. And my heart's desire was to be able to show up for my children, for my community, and to be a work from home mom. That had been my desire for years. And I've been trying the very best I could to make that happen. But there was a lot going on. At that time, I had tried to start two businesses that had both failed, and just reached a point of real desperation and frustration. I had not given up. Thank goodness I did not give up during that time. But I was burning the candle at both ends. It was not sustainable what I was trying to do. I was not making any money. And I had several small children. I'm surrounded by like a tiny army. And my greatest fear, what I tell people all the time, I had two great fears. One was that other people would find out that I was a fake. They would see my stuff, and they'd be like, she's not the mom she pretends to be. And then I call it my mom imposter syndrome. And then my other fear was that I would not be able to give my kids the life they deserved. And those were just gnawing at me. And so that was where I was. And, my external world, even though everything was just this disheveled mess and, nothing was working for me that I was working so hard at, frustrating, I didn't realize at the time until I got into your stuff. Now, that was my turning point, but at the time, I did not realize the connection between what was going on in my outer world and what was going on up here. So that was where I was when I first got introduced to your stuff.
Oh, man. That's how many people have been there, right?
Yeah.
We don't all have the small army that Jordan has. She legit has, do you have 6 kids?
5.
5. Okay.
One on the way.
With one on the way, right. I was considering the 6th as the bun in the oven. So she's not kidding when she says a small army. She's not calling 2 kids a small army. That she legit has almost a baseball team. So that you guys, who has been there and you may not have 6 kids, but who has been there where you're like, I mean, I only have 1, but I definitely was in that place where I was like, I'm not letting her down, right? Mm-hmm. Like, not on my watch. And there was nothing wrong with my parents, God bless them, but I'm going to do more. Like, I choose to do more, but then just wanting to do more isn't enough, right? Like, there's so much more to it. So what did you discover whenever you got into, like, my stuff? What changed for you?
Okay, so when I first got into your stuff, my introduction to your stuff was kind of your, I'd followed you for a long time, and I got in through the Young Living route. I started with Go for Gold. And I was like, where has this been all my life? So amazing. And that's not the only, smaller, what you call a slice of meatloaf. That's not the only one you had. So I bought all the other ones, and I started for the first time. I started to see consistent growth in my Young Living business. And it was in a way that didn't feel icky or salesy, and that had held me back. And then I started learning things here and there about, the mindset work. And so from you, I'm getting, at that time, at the beginning, I'm getting the skill set from you. And then I start realizing things, okay, I need to start changing my thoughts. I need to change the way I feel about things. I need to change beliefs that I have about myself that are holding me back. So I started doing that work. And then you launched your program, HBR, Home-Based Revolution.
Yeah.
And I did not get in right away. I had friends who got in. To me, I made excuses. I said, I can't afford that right now. I want that. I knew in my heart that was for me. But finally, August 31st, 2020, I said, you know what? I'm getting in. And it felt scary at first, but I got in. And looking back at how much, of a sacrifice it was for me to get in, because like I said, my business was not making money, but I said, my business is not going to make money until I've got skin in the game. I had made an investment in my business from someone that I know. I mean, I've seen you teach before. I'm like, I know this woman's going to give me all the tools that I need. I know what is holding me back. So I made that investment. My only regret is that I did not make that investment sooner. That is my only regret from getting into HBR when I did almost a year ago, like right at 11 months ago. Oh my goodness. The return that I've seen in my own life in the mindset and the skill set and the external results that people, other people see right away. They don't see the other stuff right away, but they see the other stuff, all of it. All of it has been worth it over and over. And now every time you roll out a new thing, I'm like, sign me up, sign me up. I'm in all the things.
Yeah, well, because whenever I roll something out, that it's, you guys know how I am. Yeah. Where Mike and I, we sit around a table, and Danelle, we sit around a table and we're like, what makes them better? What will make them better? What will make them better? Yeah. And it's never just like we're just going to create this crap, like it's like, this is going to be something that in another way just blows them up in a whole nother way. Like that's our end goal. And I appreciate your trust in what we do, because it's our heart and soul's work.
Yeah.
So I want to hear, so now almost a year later, last weekend, what did you do?
I hosted a free virtual conference for my people called the Mom So Hard Virtual Conference. Now, this was a massive undertaking, but it was fun every step of the way. So I had that. So just to give you the rundown of what it looked like, just really quick, it was 2 days. It was Friday and Saturday. It was free. It was open to anyone who wanted to come. I had 11 speakers. 9 of them were from HBR. Counting myself, it was 10. So 12 speakers. 10 were from HBR. So super amazing lineup. It was just this, I said it was an HBR family reunion that everyone got to watch. I mean, it was a powerhouse. I mean, so I was glued to this chair for 22 hours over 2 days. There's nowhere I would rather be. I was exhausted, but it was just like, look what I just did. Holy cow. And, it was so powerful. I got to interview all of these women and just shine the spotlight on them and let them share their stories in a way that just tied the whole theme of the conference together. And the remarkable thing, Martha, that I've told you and everyone in HBR and Diamond Lane, but I just want everyone to hear, because I think this is just like, what? Is that the idea for me to even create this conference happened on June the 8th. And then I had the conference starting on July the 9th. I went on 2 vacations during the time of planning this conference. I went to Atlanta for 5 days. I went to Charleston for 5 days. So it wasn't, I put in some long days, but I played with my kids. I went to the beach, and everything came together so perfectly. And, I've gotten so much wonderful feedback from that conference that I had no idea how it was going to turn out. And there were moments when I was planning that conference that I was down in the dumps. I was like, what am I doing? Am I putting all this work into it? Is it going to turn out right? But I didn't quit. I moved through that slump just like you teach us. Yeah. You coach us all the time, and you're right there. So if we ever hit that slump, we can reach out to you and you can give us a pep talk. So, yeah, all my HBR people were like, do it, do it, do it. And they were there. They were there cheering me on. And some of them were there speaking, so it was awesome. But I did it. And I got more out of that conference than anyone watching or speaking. I mean, I'm still riding that momentum. It was awesome.
It's nothing short of miraculous. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, Jordan, I remember the first call you were ever on. This is going to make me tear up.
Oh.
I remember the first call that you were ever on, like the momentum call in HBR. The first one that you talked on anyway. Uh-huh. And there are always times where one kid's opening a door and something else, like there's, they're like letting the cat out, or, like there's always like crazy stuff because it's mom life. Yeah. And she's got, 5 kids, about to be 6 kids. And there's always a lot of stuff going on, but always, 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 Jordan will have one of her kids on her lap, and she'll be sitting there and she'll be talking and asking questions. And you guys, she's gaining clarity. She's choosing what she's doing next. And all of this stuff, like this event that she did this last weekend, wasn't by accident. She didn't fall into this event. She chose this event. And then because she made that choice, so many people were blessed. You guys, that's every single one of us have that opportunity to do this stuff. So, Jordan, I just appreciate you so much for doing it. And you guys, for those of you that have not ever organized a virtual conference, it ain't easy, okay? It ain't easy. And Jordan did it by herself. Yeah. She did it that quickly And she did it by herself. What does this mean for her confidence now, right? So Jordan, what this means, in my opinion, anything that comes up against you moving forward, you're going to be like, I remember that time I sat in a chair for 22 hours and I set up this entire conference and I got people there and I have new clients because of this. I had people asking to join my programs before the conference even started that was then going to talk about a program. Like, you have done stuff now that is now in your own personal toolkit to bring up whenever the enemy or any sort of like subconscious beliefs start popping up and saying you can't do this, you can't do that. You can always look back to this anchor point and say, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I kind of have already done the impossible, so this ain't nothing, right? So
it's exactly what happened. Yeah. And it's building. It's not just this high and then you crash. No, I'm back to real life, obviously, but this is not going away. This is not something that's going to decrease. This is a milestone.
Man,
So, yeah.
it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's all good stuff. What would you suggest to somebody that's on the fence about, maybe they don't even know about HBR, but what would you say to somebody that's heard about HBR and they're kind of like, meh, I don't know, because you didn't join right away and then you wished you had. What would you say to that person?
I would say you could, whatever excuses are in your mind, just bite the bullet and do it. If you have doubts, first of all, contact Martha or her team or somebody, and they can help you to see if this program is right for you.
Yep.
They can work something out with you to where, whatever. They're here to help. They're here to help you reach your goals and on your terms, creating success on your terms. And that's what I've done. And, you could go to all these other teachers and you can access free stuff. You can pay to be in other programs. You're not going to find in other people's programs what you find in HBR. And once you get into HBR, what's going to happen to you is what happened to me is going to happen to you, because you're going to see, oh my gosh, she's also got a course on mindset work, like the Big Think. Oh my gosh, let me get in Diamond Lane. And, the more you put in is what you will get out, because the free stuff is awesome. There's nothing wrong with it. They created it. But I was thinking, I had this mentality like, I'm just going to piece it together with all this free stuff that people offer. But I did not, you can get somewhere by walking, and you can get there. It's going to take you 4 days of walking, and that's not sustainable. You can get somewhere by driving, and that's better than walking. Or you can get in a jet and fly there from here to Los Angeles in 4 hours. That could take you, I don't know how many days walking, 3 days driving. It's up to you how fast you want to get there, how important your goals are to you. And that doesn't even cover the element of having your support network of your fellow HBR people and your leader who is teaching you to do what she does already. And you can see her success and you see the life that she's got now. And she's not holding anything back. She's not like, oh, this is off limits. And, every program I've created, because the cool thing about this conference, I didn't know what the week after the conference is going to be like. Let me tell you what I've done this week. I've created 2 more courses, like literally. I created a course yesterday. In one day, I created a course because people ask me, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. If you want it, I'll do it. I created a course on how to launch your own online event. And today I'm wrapping up another course on how to create a sales presentation. I'm like, how in the world I didn't know last week that I was going to be doing that this week, but here I am. That's what I'm doing,
Yeah.
And and I couldn't have done that without knowing how to teach.
Yes.
And the way you teach is by the way Martha teaches us how to teach. We watch her do it, and we're like, you explicitly explain stuff.
Yeah.
But then we see you doing what you teach, and it's like all tied together. Mm-hmm. And I've watched other teachers, and right now I have no plans of ever purchasing anything else. So you can buy all the programs from all these other teachers who teach multiple income streams and work from home and all the things, or you can get into Martha's program, which is also, by the way, a lot more affordable than a lot of these other programs.
Yeah.
Yeah, massively, right?
Yeah.
Because Martha's here to help. She's here to see us succeed, just like, all of us.
100%. 100%. And I love that you created, and then we're going to wrap this up, but I love that you created stuff based on what people were asking you for, because that's what I talk about all the time. Listen to, like, you've got to have your finger on the pulse of your people, or else you're just creating stuff. Like, create stuff for your people, or else you're completely disconnected. But if you have people asking you questions about stuff, my gosh, create a program. Like, it doesn't need to be the most expensive program. Even my highest ticket program isn't expensive. It doesn't have to be. There's one program of mine that I make like $100K a month on, and it's super cheap. And it's not even, you don't need to have high-priced programs in order to be successful. I think that's that's a belief that people have that keeps them from being successful, because then they've got a whole bunch of stuff around that, right? How can I sell this expensive program? Da, 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 da. Well, you don't need to, is the thing. But let's talk about, because I know that you have a freebie, and whenever I say freebie, it makes it sound like it's not much, but that is not true. So tell me about your freebie, and then I'm going to read the link, because we don't have a graphic for it, because we don't, unfortunately. I'm really sorry about that. But go ahead and tell people what the freebie is, and then I will read to them the link.
Okay, so the freebie is called Survival Kit for Successful Moms, because I feel like a lot of moms need, I've created just one little thing for them to, it's a toolkit, basically. It's a toolkit that tells you where you can start. If you want to be successful, but you feel like you're in survival mode, that's where I was. That's who I reached. So I created a toolkit with just all the things in it to get you, it's a first step.
Yeah, I love it. That's great. That's all anybody needs is that first step. And then you know that you can trust Jordan, and she's going to take care of you moving forward. I'm going to tell you right now, anybody that's in HBR working my stuff is trustworthy. You're going to be able to trust them. And that's just like Jordan was saying, they're going to know how to teach things. They know how to serve you. Their mind is completely and 100% on serving you, or else they wouldn't be in HBR. I would gross them out, right? Because I talk about service all day long. So you know that anybody that's in HBR, like even if you're going to buy a course from somebody, the first question I would ask them is, are you in HBR? Because if you're not, find somebody that is and get from them, because they're going to give you the real. Now, the link for her free guide is Jordan M. Rios. Can somebody put this in the comments too, please? So jordanm.rios.com/landing/survival-kit. I'm going to say it again faster, but please, wherever you are, please put it in the comments, because this is being broadcast to multiple places at once. So I would love for everybody to be able to get it in the comments where they are. So again, it's jordanmrios.com/landing/survival-kit. Thank you guys for putting that in there. I see that you did it. Thank you, Megan, Corey. Appreciate you guys. So I would be silly not to mention this. So if you guys are watching this and you're like, okay, you know what, fine, I'm in. I am going to go ahead and take the jump. I'm going to do this thing because it seems to be working for people, right? I'm doing this thing because I feel like I'm made for more, but I don't feel like I'm actually accomplishing it right now. I feel a bit like the road runner spinning my wheels in place, right? That's what everybody feels like before they jump in. So if that is you, or if you're like, I'm not even spinning my wheels in place, I'm standing still, but I want to be moving. You need to be an HBR. So what you would do is you would go to Livin the Dream. Where's my hand? Where is my hand? Livin the Dream with Martha. That's my Facebook business page. Send me the words, let's do this, case study, rainbows and unicorns, whatever you want to send me. We're going to find the best program for you. It's likely going to be HBR, because HBR is so all-inclusive. But if we need to pop you into something else before you get into HBR for you to feel more comfortable, we're happy to have that conversation as well. It's about you, and it's about your success, bottom line, and also your timeline of success and how you see it happening for you and how you choose for it to happen. So there is that. Jordan, I appreciate you so much. I'm going to get this graphic off your face here. Thank you so much for coming today. And also thank you for creating that event. Thank you for having me on the event. Thank you for showing up in Diamond Lane, in HBR Momentum calls. Thank you for showing other people what is possible, period. Like that's just, it's such an honor to be in your presence. So thank you so much, Jordan.
Thank you, Martha. Thank you for having me on today.
Of course. Everybody have the best day, and I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.